ಶ್ರೀಚಕ್ರ ವರದಾಚಾರ್ಯಂ ಶುದ್ಧಸತ್ವ ಗುರುತ್ತಮಂ ಶ್ರೀನಿಧಿಂ ರಾಘವಂ ವಂದೇ ಹ್ಯಪಾರ ಕರುಣಾಕರಂ ಅಗ್ರೇ ಪಶ್ಯಾಮಿ ತೇಜಃ ಕಿಮಪಿ ಹಯಮುಖಂ ವರ್ಧಕಂ ವಾರಿರಾಶೇಃ ವಿದ್ಯಾರೂಪಸ್ಯ ಹೃದ್ಯಂ ವಿಶದ ಶಶಿನಿಭಂ ಪದ್ಮಜಾತಾಭಿನಂದ್ಯಂ ಶಂಖಂ ಚಕ್ರಂ ಚ ಪುಸ್ತಂ ವಿವೃತಿರತಿಮತೀಂ ಜ್ಞಾನಮುದ್ರಾಂ ಚ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀಂ ಬಿಭ್ರತ್ ವಿಭ್ರಾಜಮಾನಂ ಶ್ರುತಿತತಿಮಹಿತಂ ಲೋಚನಾನೇಕದೃಶ್ಯಂ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ವಿಷಯಾನ್ ಸಾರ್ಥಾನ್ ಅಸ್ಮದ್ಧರ್ಮೇ ಸನಾತನೆ ರಮ್ಯಾಯ ವೆಂಕಟೇಶಸ್ಯ ಶ್ರೀಗೇಹೇಸ್ಮಿನ್ ವದಾಮ್ಯಹಂ. ವಿ ಎ ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಆಲ್ and my heartfelt thanks to Sydney Andal Group for giving me another wonderful topic titled Science and Sanatana Dharmam. What are all the aspects of science which are embedded within the holy texts of our Sanatana Dharmam? What are all the scientific facts which are embedded within our day-to-day practices in Sanatana Dharmam? These things we are going to discuss today. And now today's special shlokam is Vijnana Vishayan Sarthan. What are all the deep scientific facts which are all Asmad Dharme Sanatane, embedded within our Sanatana Dharmam? We are going to discuss all these things in Ramyayaha Venkateshasya, in the home of Sriman Venkateshan and his wife Srimati Ramya, because I can enjoy music very well, but I cannot sing. I am very happy that a person with my name is singing so nicely. So in Sri Uve Venkatesh and Srimati Ramya, in their home, we are going to discuss Sri Gehesmin Vadamyakam. So we are going to discuss the scientific concepts embedded within Sanatana Dharmam. Now I will wish to give two disclaimers in the beginning before going into the topic. Disclaimer number 1. Sanatana Dharmam is unlimited and science is limited. The scope of Sanatana Dharmam cannot be brought within a small limit. But science is limited. Yes, you can restrict it to physics or chemistry or botany or zoology or astronomy or whatever it is, or particle physics, atomic physics. There is a limit for everything. So, the limited science, unlimited Sanatana Dharmam, the unlimited Sanatana Dharmam cannot be brought within the limits of the limited science. At the same time, Sanatana Dharma and science have one important similarity. Both are focused on research. Science involves research into the external world. Sanatana Dharmam revolves around research into the internal universe. So external research is science, internal research is spirituality or Sanatana Dharmam. Not only that, for the external research, scientists will be the guiding torches to guide us in that external research. Saints and sages are the guiding torches who guide us into the internal research of Sanatana Dharmam. Now the similarity is, the more you involve in external research, ultimately it will take you back to internal research only. The more you involve in internal research, it will automatically give you details about external research also. So in this way, science and Sanatana Dharmam are connected. So we cannot consider that they are contradictory to each other, rather they are complementary to each other. So researching more about science will ultimately take you to spirituality one day. Like Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein is a great scientist known to everybody. But by researching, at one stage, Albert Einstein said, as I read the Bhagavad Gita more and more and reflect on how God created this universe, all my inventions are nothing. God's creation is great, he says. So science at one stage ultimately takes you to spirituality. On the other hand, if you involve more and more in spirituality, it will automatically reveal a lot of scientific facts to you as well. So both of them are complementary to each other. At the same time, the unlimited Sanatana Dharmam cannot be limited within the limits of science. This is disclaimer number 1. Disclaimer number 2. The major reason for the performance of all our Anushtanams is spiritual benefit only. All our Vedic Anushtanams, the practices which we do in Sanatana Dharmam, mainly they are focused on spiritual benefits. They give us spiritual advancement. There is no doubt about that. But additionally, they give us some scientific benefits also. But please remember, scientific benefits are additional ones. Because there is one school of thought that no, these Sanatana Dharma practices were all designed only to give scientific benefits, but you won't do it if they say scientific benefits. So they have all told you lies that these are all spiritual benefits, telling lies. They have forced you to do this. Not like that. I never belong to that school of thought. Our practices are meant for spiritual benefit only. It is the primary benefit. But of course, some secondary additional scientific benefits are also there in the practices of Sanatana Dharma. Sticking myself to the topic, confining myself to the topic, today we are going to see the scientific aspects and scientific benefits which we can get by our practices. With these two disclaimers, without further delay, let us go into the proper topic. Scientific facts which in Sanatana Dharma, science and Sanatana Dharma. Number 1. Last February, I had been to Geneva to deliver a discourse on Srimad Bhagavatam for 10 days. My friend Sri Malol and there wanted me to take for sightseeing. But wherever I go, I am not interested in sightseeing. But he said, he stressed, please, you have come to Geneva, you should see some place at least. He took me to a place called CERN in Geneva. CERN is Central European Nuclear Research Institute, CERN in Geneva. I just went there and saw what was happening there. In CERN, they are doing research about atomic particles and particle physics. What they are doing is, based on the research on microparticles, they are trying to deduce the nature of creation of this universe. They have dug a deep tunnel, 300 feet deep into the ground. They have dug a tunnel. Within that tunnel, they have created a vacuum and a temperature of minus 273.15 Kelvin. They have dug a tunnel 300 feet below the ground. And the temperature is minus 273.15 Kelvin, created vacuum within the tunnel. Now, they are colliding atomic particles within the tunnel in clockwise direction and anti-clockwise direction. Clockwise, anti-clockwise, clockwise, anti-clockwise, small micro-atomic particles. They are involved in collision. They observe the collision in bubble chamber photography. When they observed this collision in bubble chamber photography, they observed two important things. The movement of these particles was in a rhythmic manner. Number 2, particles were created and destroyed. The number of particles created was exactly equal to the number of particles destroyed. Now you got the experiment right? Below the ground 300 feet, vacuum in a tunnel, minus 273.15 Kelvin, collide atomic particles clockwise and anti-clockwise. Now they observe that they have a rhythmic movement. Number of particles created is equal to number of particles destroyed. This is the experiment going on in Geneva CERN. They are trying to deduce the nature of universe, creation of universe using this thing. Now you tell me, whose statue can be kept at the entrance of CERN? Huh? Oppenheimer. Then? Natarajar. Then? Our poet has given the right answer. They have kept a 6 feet statue of Lord Nataraja of Chidambaram, the dancing form, cosmic dance of Lord Shiva. In the office of CERN, just at the entrance, you can see, even in Google you can search CERN Nataraja. They have kept a 6 feet idol of Lord Nataraja dancing, Chidambaram Nataraja dancing Shiva. They have kept 6 feet idol of Lord Shiva. What is the connection between Lord Shiva's dance and CERN? They are doing research on atomic particles, but they are keeping the idol of Lord Nataraja who is dancing here. What is the connection? Yeah.
Cosmic dance and atomic particles are rotating in that fashion.
Actually, this has been explained by a foreign author, Fridge of Capra, because even if Indian author says, people won't believe. So a foreign author has written a book called The Tao of Physics. It's also available in Google. The Tao of Physics, written by Fridge of Capra. In page number 11, he writes, this dancing form of Shiva Lord Nataraja is the symbolic representation of particle physics and atomic particles whose research is going on inside. How? If you observe the form of Nataraja, he has a drum in his right hand. He has fire in his left hand. This drum, udukai we say in Tamil, that drum musical instruments signifies creation because creation came from sound. So the sound, that drum, it signifies creation of particles. On the left hand, he has fire, which refers to destruction of particles. If you observe both the hands of Shiva, the right hand and left hand will be at the same level. The drum in the right hand and fire in the left hand will be at the same level, which shows that drum, sound, creation, here fire, destruction, number of particles created is exactly equal to number of particles destroyed. These are shown by the hands of Shiva at the same level. In between he is dancing. Shiva is dancing. Why is he dancing means in between creation and destruction, the particles have got a rhythmic movement. Dance always has a rhythm. Without rhythm, there is no dance. So, Lord Shiva's cosmic dance is the simplest possible representation of complex particle physics. So, for this, you need to dig a 300 feet tunnel. And you have to create a vacuum, minus 273.15 Kelvin of temperature, collide atomic particles clockwise, anti-clockwise, use bubble chamber photography. Now just think of it. Did our ancestors have all this technology in those days? We don't know. But they were able to represent this particle physics. Here sound, drum, creation of particles. Here fire, destruction of particles. Both are at the same level. In between, atomic particles are moving in a rhythmic way. They are showing it in rhythmic dance of Lord Shiva. That's why it is called cosmic dance. Because cosmos means everything is going in an orderly manner. The opposite of cosmos is chaos. If it is chaos, we know. But here in Upanyasam also it is cosmos only, not chaos. So it is not chaos, it is cosmos. That's why the universe also we call it as cosmos. The dance is called cosmic dance because it has a rhythm, it has a regular pattern. This particle physics has been represented in Lord Nataraja's idol. That's why at the CER and entrance, 6 feet idol of Lord Shiva has been kept. This is point number 1. Now let us go to point number 2. In our Sanatana Dharma, we say we should wake up at Brahma muhurtam. Early in the morning, in early hours of dawn, before sunrise, we have to wake up. There is a big question. What is Brahma muhurtam? Brahma muhurtam is a period of 48 minutes. It starts 96 minutes before sunrise and completes 48 minutes before sunrise. 96 minutes before sunrise to 48 minutes before sunrise. That 48-minute period is called Brahma muhurtam. Why should you wake up at Brahma muhurtam? Brihadaranyaka Upanishad gives an answer. The answer is, while we sleep at night, Paramatma, Bhagavan Sriman Narayana embraces each Jivatma during sleep. Just take for example, if a child is sleeping, the mother will embrace the child for its protection. Mother will hug the child. Similarly, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, Pragyena Atmana Samparishvaktaha Na Bhakyam Kinchana Veda Nantaram. While this Jivatma is sleeping, Paramatma Bhagavan, he hugs, he embraces the Jivatma and ensures our protection during our sleep. Because what is guarantee that we will wake up the next morning? But we are all confident that I am going to wake up the next morning and going to sleep. Who is saving us all through the night? Paramatma Bhagavan embraces us and grants us full protection during our sleep. Now, Paramatma, who embraces this Jivatma, he releases this Jivatma during Brahma Muhurtam. Why can't he release us after sunrise? Because to ensure daylight saving, we have to utilize daylight properly. So, to ensure daylight saving, Paramatma lets free this Jivatma at Brahma Muhurtam 96 minutes before sunrise. Paramatma releases, lets us go, please wake up, do daylight saving and do your work properly. So, Paramatma wakes us up. But still some people wish to sleep even after that. That's their own wish. That's different. But Paramatma makes us wake up at Brahma Muhurtam only and he releases us. Still some people wish to sleep and they sleep. It is their own preference. Now coming to the point, if we wake up at Brahma Muhurtam, we will have the residual effect of being in communion with the Lord. Because we were united with Bhagavan during our sleep. Because Bhagavan was embracing us. If we wake up immediately in Brahma Muhurtam when Bhagavan releases us, we can still have the residual effect. We say inertia, right? Even after brake is applied, the vehicle will move for some distance and then it will stop. Similarly, even after God releases us, for those 48 minutes, we will still have the experience and the feeling of being in association with God. That's why if we wake up at Brahma Muhurtam and perform religious or spiritual activities, perform meditation, perform dhyanam, perform worship, we will get better results. Because at that time our mind will be pure, our thoughts will be clear. Because a person, we can observe people say, I slept, after sleeping I feel fresh. Can a person gain anything after sleeping? Only if you work you can gain. No pain, no gain. But a sleeping person says, after sleep I gained a lot of freshness, I gained clarity and purity of thought, he says. How can a sleeping person gain? In India, government offices, sleeping person can gain a lot. But generally, how can a sleeping person gain something? Because it is Bhagavan who gives that gain. So, we have to wake up at Brahma Muhurtam to utilize the residual effect of being in communion with Him properly. This is from Shastras. Now, coming to science. Recently, a German professor of biology by name Christopher Randler, he did research about this waking up in early dawn, and he found out that students who wake up early in the morning do very well in their studies. Instead of studying late night, they can wake up early in the morning and study. He conducted a research and study based on this, and he has given that those students who read early in the early hours of the morning score better marks in academics than the persons who are reading at night. Not only that, he also conducted a research among employees of various organizations, and this Christopher Randler, this is also available in Google, you can see. Christopher Randler says those employees who wake up early in the morning get better career success, they have better productivity than people who stay awake till late night and then they wake up late in the morning, late sleep, late waking. Instead of that, early to bed, early to sleep, it yields better results. And another research scholar by name Dr. Georg Huber from London, he says people who wake up early, they have less stress in their lives, because all our lives are very much stressful, full of stress, full of tension. We are running like machines. But people who wake up early have the benefit of daylight saving, and they have less stress in their life, and their quality of life is better. This has been given by Dr. Georg Huber from London. So these researchers emphasize the fact that getting up early in Brahma Muhurtam is very good for our health, scientifically proved. So we have seen 2 points now. 1, particle physics. Number 2, Brahma Muhurtam. Number 3, whenever we think of Brahma Muhurtam, Margari month comes across our minds. Margari, the Tamil month of Margari, Dhanur Masam we say in Sanskrit, mid-December to mid-January. In that Dhanur Masa, Margari month, we perform bhajans in the street in the early morning. Why do we do so? Because Margari month is Brahma Muhurtam for Devas. It is fit for worship. Krishna says in Gita, Masanam Margasirshoham. I am Margari among all the months. Margasirsha month. So we do bhajans early in the morning during Margari. But it has one additional scientific benefit. Can anybody tell me? In that Margari month, Dhanur Masam, the ozone layer will come nearer to the surface of the earth. In Margari month, the ozone layer will come near to the surface of the earth. When you walk on the streets and perform bhajan, you have to breathe more. You have to inhale more air, because when singing also, we will have some shortness of breath and we have to breathe more. When you sing while walking, you have to breathe even more. If you do so, you will inhale more fresh, free oxygen from the ozone layer. Male gents, they do this bhajan and they walk on the streets. What do women do in Margari? They put color kolam. They bend their back, put color kolam. in that time also they tend to breathe more, they tend to inhale more air. As they inhale more air, they can inhale more fresh free oxygen from the ozone layer, which is nearer, relatively nearer to the surface of the earth during Margari. As we inhale the fresh oxygen from the ozone layer, it gives us better health, it cleans all our organs, it gives us good immunity, it gives good fresh oxygenated blood for all the organs in our body. So this early morning bhajan in Margari, this has an important scientific benefit. This is point number 3. Now point number 4, we have to put kolam in front of our homes. It is very important. But these days we can see some people paste some stickers in front of the home as kolam. This is our kolam. This is not kolam. In Sanskrit, to say enough, we say alam. You add it to kolam. Alam kolam. Yes, alam kolam. Enough of your kolam. That is not true kolam. We have to put kolam with rice flour, because we should feed the other creatures. There are ants, flies. They have to go a long distance in search of food. We are feeding those creatures by putting kolam in front of our homes. Not only that, this kolam has got one scientific significance. Oh man, what is the significance of kolam? I will tell you first from my experience, and then I will give you the scientific research also. My experience is, when I was doing 6th standard, we got the subject called biology. Till 5th standard, science will be a single subject. From 6th standard, it will be split into physics, chemistry, botany, zoology. In biology, usually boys score less marks and girls score more. The reason is, only when you draw diagrams beautifully, you can get marks in biology. I read everything. I used to present it in a different way only. My presentation is always different. Whether it is Upanyasam or exam paper, I will always present in a different manner only. But whatever presentation we make, if the diagram is not good, they won't give you marks in biology. Only if the diagram is good, they will give you marks. Girls often put superb diagrams, beautiful diagrams, and score marks. I asked my teacher, "Oh sir, how is it possible? I want to become a doctor. I want to score more in biology to become a doctor, but I am unable to put these diagrams. But girls are drawing diagrams beautifully. How is it possible for them?" My teacher told me, "They are putting columns in their homes." It was 90s. I am 90s kid, so I am not sure about 2K kids and all. But in 90s kids, they are putting column in their homes. So that column has given them that touch, that fine touch, magical touch to their fingers. That's why they are able to draw. That time I didn't take it seriously. But recently I read a newspaper article which said drawing column develops 6 mathematical skills. Drawing column develops 6 mathematical skills. What are they? Counting, measuring, designing, identifying, experimenting, and explaining. Got it? Counting, measuring, designing, identifying, experimenting, explaining. How? Counting, they first put dots. They have a mental picture, they count the dots and form the opinion that if I keep 36 dots, I can draw this column. This is counting. Number 2, measuring. At how much distance should I place these dots? That is measuring. They are all done without calculator. Within their mind, subconsciously, they are doing it automatically. They are counting, they are measuring, and then designing. They put a design in between the dots. And number 4, identifying. We have to identify the dots properly. And experimenting. In between, they will do some experiment also. Finally, explaining. They will explain the column to other people. You come to our house, you see the column. This column has this kind of concept. They can explain. So, counting, measuring, and then designing, identifying, experimenting, explaining. 6 mathematical skills get sharpened if we put column in our house daily. This has been found in a research. So, even putting column in our house, on one hand, it feeds other organisms. So, it is one act of showing compassion to other creatures. On the other hand, the same action develops our mathematical and drawing skills also. This is number 4. Number 5, we do pranayamam, right? During Sandhya Vandanam and all, we do pranayamam. Pranayamam is an excellent breathing exercise. On one hand, we do it to develop our meditation towards God. On the scientific front, it has been proved that pranayamam reduces stress and blood pressure. And then pranayamam rejuvenates our body. Pranayamam ensures good blood circulation to all our organs. Pranayamam gives good sleep, because many people are suffering from insomnia and are addicted to sleeping pills. Instead of all these things, just resort to pranayamam, it gives you good sleep. And then pranayamam promotes concentration. Many people say, I have loss of memory loss, all people say these days. But pranayamam improves concentration, it gives good memory. Pranayamam improves lung function. It is very good for asthmatics. Pranayamam is very good. Recently, Adiyan Sribhashya the Acharya, Dr. Shivuve Karunakarachar Swami, he gave an advice to his disciple. His disciple came and did Namaskaram to Swami. He said, I am suffering from asthma. My doctor advised me to do more of pranayamam and all. Karunakarachar Swami asked me, had you performed Sandhya Vandanam properly and did pranayamam in the proper manner during Sandhya Vandanam, you would not have got this asthma at all. Because we all live here, we don't give more importance to that. Because we just keep our fingers on the nose, we say Om Bhu, Om Bhu, Om Soha and just finish it. But if we perform that breathing exercise pranayamam properly, it automatically improves our lung function. It is very good for asthmatics and people with allergy. And pranayamam improves our digestion. Pranayamam promotes weight loss. Pranayamam also gives mental purity. So pranayamam has lot of scientific benefits. This is point number 5. Point number 6, yoga. Recently, yoga, Surya Namaskaram, they have gained a lot of prominence. This yoga has got a lot of benefits for our body, especially Surya Namaskaram we do as a part of yoga. That Surya Namaskaram, that particular act, it gives a lot of benefits to the body. One, Surya Namaskaram promotes weight loss. Many people are doing it, they go jogging, they take a dog along with them to go for jogging, many things. Just Surya Namaskaram every day promotes weight loss. And then Surya Namaskaram strengthens our muscles and joints. Surya Namaskaram eliminates constipation. For people with constipation, Surya Namaskaram is very good. Surya Namaskaram ensures good sleep. Surya Namaskaram regulates your blood sugar levels. Surya Namaskaram stimulates blood flow to vital organs. And more importantly, if you do Surya Namaskaram facing sun, it promotes the synthesis of vitamin D in our body. What is the source for vitamin D? Sunlight. So Surya Namaskaram promotes the level of vitamin D also in our body, promotes the synthesis of vitamin D. So yoga, Surya Namaskaram, they have a lot of scientific benefits. This is point number 6. Point number 7. In our homes, we use silver or copper vessels for puja, our anushtanams and all. Do we use plastic? No. Why should we use silver or copperware for pujas? Scientifically, it has been proven that if we keep water in silver or copper containers, water remains pure for a longer duration. It is fresh for a longer duration compared to other objects. Number 2, the silver, copper, they are metals, right? Silver and copper are known to kill bacteria like E. coli and Salmonella. If E. coli and Salmonella are present in water, they will cause diarrhea. But if we keep water in silver or copper containers, they kill those E. coli and Salmonella bacteria. Number 3, the silver copper containers are far more hygienic than recycled plastic containers. Because majority of plastic is recycled plastic. We are not sure from where it was recycled. It could be a nasogastric tube of a person. It could have been a urinary catheter for a person. They are all recycled into plastic items only. So regarding plastic, we have to be very careful. But silver and copper, they are not recycled items. They are far more hygienic. Similarly, we see Ganga Jalam, we say it is always pure. Scientifically, it is proven that even after keeping Ganga Jalam for 6 months or 1 year in your home, you can't see even a single bacteria or a single virus in Ganga Jalam. Not only that, if you consume water from silver or copper container, a small amount of copper or silver, a very tiny amount, it gets mixed with the water. If you consume that mineral in that small amount, it removes excess fat in our body. It also gives us more alkaline content and aids in digestion. So keeping water in silver or copper containers has got a lot of significance. This is point number 7. Now point number 8. This is an interesting thing because we have to go in some sort of direction to make it interesting. Now an interesting research. Every day we do Salagrama puja in our homes. We do Tiruvaradhanam, Tirumanjanam to Salagrama Perumal and partake Tirtham, the holy water from Salagrama. My friend, Dr. Parthasarathi from Kumbakonam, he is an anesthetist. Dr. Parthasarathi did a research about Salagrama water. And he has published a paper. It has been published from Puducherry Medical College. You can see that in Google also. Research on Salagramam by Dr. S. Parthasarathi and Dr. M.R. Suchitra. It is available in Google. What he has found out is, usually a normal RO water, which you use for drinking, normal RO water has 5.5% of antioxidant activity. But if the water is soaked in Salagramam for at least 10 minutes, the antioxidant activity multiplies by 2 and becomes 10%. For normal RO water, the antioxidant property is 5.5%. If the water gets soaked in Salagramam for 10 minutes, the antioxidant activity multiplies to 10%. If you consume that Salagrama water, which is used for Thirumanjanam, at least 10 minutes the water would be soaked in Salagramam. If a person partakes that water, it gives him better antioxidant activity, because this antioxidant activity delays aging. It saves us from heart disease and cancer, because the free radicals, this oxidant activity, that alone, that oxidative stress is responsible for aging. That oxidative stress is responsible for all our arthritis. Oxidative stress, it is responsible for graying of hair. Oxidative stress, that only makes our skin look old. Oxidative stress, that leads to cancer, heart disease and many ailments of geriatric age. But this 10% of antioxidant activity in Salagrama water delays aging. It gives you long life. It gives you antioxidant activity. It protects you from heart disease. It protects you from arthritis. It protects you from cancer. He has published a paper, Dr. Parthasarathi, Dr. Suchitra's research on Salagrama water. You can see in Google. So this is point number 8, an interesting point. Now another more interesting point, point number 9. In those days, what is the punishment for slow learners in schools? No, we should not say slow learner, we should say late bloomers. The terminology has been changed these days because the tolerance level has come down. People get hurt so often. Nobody responds, everybody reacts. Oh, how can you call me slow learners? Even today the trend has gone so worse that we should not call people as drunkards. We should say alcohol lovers. Because tolerance level is very low. They get triggered. Similarly, they are not slow learners, they are late bloomers. What is the punishment for late bloomers? Topu Karanam. Actually, its name is Dorbih Karanam. Dorbi means with hands. Karanam means ears. Dorbih Karanam means you catch hold of the opposite ears with opposite hands. Left ear with right hand, right ear with left hand. Catch hold of the opposite ears with opposite hands. Then squat, stand up. Squat, stand up. Squat, stand up. This is called Dorbih Karanam. It became Topu Karanam. This Topu Karanam was the classical punishment given by all teachers to late bloomers. Why they give this kind of a punishment? Because in these days, if they give this, it will amount to corporal punishment and the teacher will be sued. But actually, this Topu Karanam has a great scientific basis behind it. A scientist from Los Angeles named Dr. Eric Robbins and a Japanese scientist, Dr. Eugenius Ang. Both of them have researched on this separately and they have called Topu Karanam as SBY. Do you know what is SBY? Super Brain Yoga. Topu Karanam is called Super Brain Yoga. As a person performs Topu Karanam often, blood flow to the brain increases, thereby his concentration, memory power, everything improves. As his concentration and memory power improves, that late bloomer becomes early bloomer. So, to make him fare better in studies, teachers in those days gave punishment as Topukaranam. Even in some families, you can say the parents will advise the boy, you put Topukaranam before going to exam. Put Topukaranam in temple and then go to exam. Because doing that Topukaranam increases blood flow to the brain so that he can fare well in that exam. So, even Topukaranam has got a scientific significance. Now, number 10, we have got Tulsi, holy basil, in our homes. Tulsi oxygenates the air for 20 hours per day. And Tulsi removes all the negative gases, all the bad gases like carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide. Tulsi cleans the atmosphere of all those gases and gives us a healthy atmosphere. And Tulsi secretes oxygen. It gives out oxygen for around 20 hours per day. It is the longest. 20 hours emission of oxygen can be got from Tulsi. Not only that, Tulsi has got lot of medicinal properties. Tulsi can be used to treat cold, cough, fever, etc. And Tulsi also purifies our blood. So this holy basil we offer to Bhagavan and take his Tulsi. That Tulsi has got a lot of significance for our health. This is point number 10. Point number 11. Have you heard of Udaka Shanti? Many people say Udaya Shanti. It is not Udaya Shanti. It is Udaka Shanti. Udaka means water. Udaka Shanti means you have to keep water in a vessel, copper or silver vessel, and then people will sit around that vessel with water. They will touch the vessel with holy grass Dharma and chant Vedic mantras. They will keep on chanting for half an hour or 1 hour. They will chant Vedic mantras, touching the container of water, that metallic container with holy grass Dharma. They chant mantras. After the chanting of mantras is over, after that Udaka Shanti Japam, they take that water and have a holy bath with that water which is purified by mantras. For example, if a boy is about to get Upanayanam, holy thread, Punal, in that case, this Udaka Shanti will be done and that boy will have a holy bath with the water of this Udaka Shanti Jalam. What is the significance of taking bath in Udaka Shanti Jalam? This has been researched by a Japanese scientist. Again, you can see this in Google. Dr. Marasu Yamoto. Dr. Marasu Yamoto of Japan. He has done a research on this Udaka Shanti. He has found something. What is his experiment? Dr. Marasu Yamoto, he took 4 vessels. He filled all those 4 vessels with water. He kept each of the vessel in a separate room. Room A, Room B, Room C, Room D. All 4 rooms are soundproof rooms. Whatever you speak inside, the sound won't go outside. Soundproof rooms. In Room A, he asked to sit a man in front of the vessel with water and asked the man to say, I am sick, you kill me. I am sick, you kill me. I am sick, you kill me, in front of the water. Now Room B, he asked a man to sit in front of the water and say, love, love, love. With emotion, you say love, love. Room C, another person, you sit in front of the vessel with water, you chant some divine hymns. Divine hymns or divine songs about God. Just like our friend Sri Venkatesh Swami and his son sang beautiful songs. Similarly, you sang some divine songs. Number 4, room number D. In that room D, he asked a person to sit in front of the vessel and say, violent, dangerous, hurting, killing, all violent words, terrible words, horrible words, you say. So, in the first room, I am sick, you kill me. Second room, love. Third room, divine songs. Fourth room, everything is violent and horrible. 1 day later, he took water from the containers in each of the rooms and observed the water molecules in the microscope. He was shocked to see some changes in the molecule pattern of each of the water in these containers. For example, the water in container A, he took it and observed in a slide in microscope. He was surprised to see that the water molecules were arranged in an ugly shape. The water molecules were ugly to see through microscope. Why was it ugly? Because the person was saying, you are sick, I am sick, you kill me. I am sick, you kill me. Ugly words he said. So the water molecules were arranged in an ugly manner. In the second room, he said, love, love, love. The water molecules were arranged in a beautiful way. In the third room, he sang some divine songs. The water molecules were arranged in a divine way, as if developing our devotion. It appeared so divine. And then the fourth container, the water molecules, when observed in microscope, they were horrible. Because they were speaking all violent, horrible, all these words. The appearance was also horrible. So Dr. Marasu Yamoto concluded that water molecules can carry sound vibrations. Whatever emotions and sound vibrations we convey, water molecules are able to receive them. That's why our ancestors, what they did is keep water into a container and have holy grass darba, which is a good conductor. Now touching that vessel with this holy garba, good conductor, they chant Vedic mantras so that the entire positive divine vibrations of those Vedic chants reach the water through the darba. Our container is also a metallic container, good conductor. This darba, that holy grass, it also conveys the vibrations beautifully. Now, if a person takes bath with that water, the entire positive vibrations of Vedic chant directly enters into his head. This is the basic for doing Udaka Shanti. This has been concluded by a Japanese scientist, Dr. Marasu Yamoto. This is point number 11. Point number 12. We do Namaskaram, right? We have to do Namaskaram to elders. Why should we do Namaskaram? Is there any reason? Yes. Respect. Scientific reason? Actually, as per Shastras, why should we do Namaskaram is Manu says in Manusmriti. In Manusmriti, Manu says the reason for doing Namaskaram is Urdhvam prana hyutkramishyanti unas tavira ayati pratyuttana abhivadabhyam punastan pratipadyate. If an elderly person comes in front of us, please note this point. If an elderly person, respectable person comes in front of us, or a divine person, spiritual person with a lot of positive vibes comes in front of us, our prana shakti, the power of our life breath, starts moving upwards in reverence for them. If an elderly, spiritual, divine person with positive vibes comes in front of us, he may be elder to us based on his age, or based on his experience, or based on his knowledge, or based on his divinity, whatever it is. If such a person comes in front of us, automatically our prana shakti, the power of our life breath, starts going up in reverence for them. Only if we stand up in respect, the prana shakti does not go up, because we also parallelly stand up. And if we fall down at their feet, prana shakti also comes down and settles with us. But if we don't get up and if we don't prostrate, the prana shakti alone will go up, so we lose a part of our prana shakti. If we don't stand up on seeing elders, if we don't worship or do prostration in front of those elders, if we keep on sitting even if elders come by our side, our prana shakti will start going away from us slowly, slowly, slowly. That person will have less lifespan. But if a person immediately gets up on seeing elders, immediately he falls down, prana shakti also settles with him more. So that person has got a longer lifespan. This has been said by Manu. So only if we stand up in respect to elders, and only if we fall down, that prana shakti, it comes back to us, it rests within us. If we have more prana shakti, we can have longer life. If the prana shakti becomes less, then our lifespan also becomes less. This has been said by Manu in Manusmriti. Not only that, in our Sampradayam we say, for doing Namaskaram, we say Dandan Samarpital, offering Dandam. What is Dandam? Stick, staff. Offering Dandam means, if you leave a stick without any support, what will it do? It will just fall down. Whether the soil is dirty, marshy, it is not worried about it. It will immediately fall down. Similarly, on seeing a respectable person, we should not look at the floor, whether my dress will get dirt. We should not see all those things. Just we have to fall on the floor like a stick without a support. Similarly, Can the stick get up on itself? No. We have to make it stand erect. Similarly, till that person blesses us and asks us to wake up, we have to remain in that position of Namaskaram. Ramanuja did that to Tirukottur Nambi in the banks of Kaveri. Till his Acharya said wake up, Ramanuja was prostrating to his Acharya. So that is Namaskaram. Now, this Namaskaram, it has got a scientific basis. This scientific basis has been explained by a Russian scientist, Dr. Frank Baranowski. Dr. Frank Baranowski has explained the basis for Namaskaram. What he says is, already we saw that particle physics. We have got a lot of microparticles and microphotons in our body also. If a person has a lot of positive energy, if he is a positive person, a divine person, these microphotons, they are continually emitted from his body, and these microphotons form a layer around him which is called aura. A-U-R-A. You often come across this term aura. This aura is a layer of microphotons which is formed around a person who has a lot of positivity, because proton is positive or negative? Positive. If a person has a lot of positive energy, microphotons will form around him as a layer. If he has more and more of positivity and divinity and spirituality, this layer of positive energy will be as long as 50 feet, he says. 50 feet radius around him, this positive energy will be accumulated as aura. That's why we say in the hermitage of sages, even deer and lion will be friendly. Even a cat and mouse will be friendly. Even eagle and snake will be friendly. The reason is the positive energy aura of the sages, they are extending beyond 50 feet, 100 feet like that. Can this aura be seen? Dr. Frank Baranowski says, yes, using Kirlian camera. There is a camera called Kirlian camera. Again, you can see in Google. In that Kirlian camera, you can see that positivity aura, that area of microphotons. So, for some people, there may be no aura at all. For people like me, no aura, zero. For some people with some sort of divinity, it may be 1 foot or 2 feet. For great sages, saints or alvars, acharyas, if Ramanuja, just imagine, if Ramanuja comes here now, hypothetically, what will we do? Suddenly we all get up and prostrate. Why? That aura extends up to 50 feet or 100 feet. So, our alvar acharyas, they have a lot of aura from them. Now, what is the connection between aura and Namaskaram? This positivity, microphoton, this aura is around their body, right? This aura is mainly emanating from the great toes of both feet of the person. This layer of microphotons is emitted primarily from the great toe of both great toes of the feet of that person. That's why Ganges came from where? Great toe of Bhagavan. Brahma did Tirumanjanam to the left foot of Bhagavan, which went to Satyalokam. Brahma did holy bath, Abhishekam to that foot. Ganga came from where? The great toe of the left foot of Bhagavan, because the entire aura comes from there only. That's why Ganga Jalam is always pure. Similarly, the entire layer of aura, microphoton, positive energy, it is emanating from the great toes of both feet of that person. So, mentally or physically, if we prostrate towards, physically, for some people we can physically touch the feet. For some people, we mentally touch their feet. So, mentally or physically, if we touch the great toes of that person with reverence, their positive energy gets transferred to us some bit. So, we get the positive energy from them. You can refer to this in Frank Baranowski's theory also. Otherwise, I will give you another simple source for this. Have you seen the movie 2.0? Rajinikanth has explained this in 2.0. Because in 2.0 movie, Akshay Kumar will try a lot to save birds. But due to the over usage of cell phones and the radiation from cell phone towers, birds will become extinct. Akshay Kumar hangs himself out of frustration. But the aura of Akshay Kumar has a lot of positive energy. What does it do? It accumulates all cell phones everywhere and it forms a new bird, and that bird comes to attack people who are using cell phones, right? There, Rajinikanth explains here, it is aura, it is positive energy, it is the microphotons emanating from the body, it can be seen using Kerlin camera. Akshay Kumar's aura is so long that it has a lot of radius that it has accumulated all the cell phones and it has become a new bird based on cell phones, he says. So this aura emanates from the great toes of both the feet of the person. So touching it mentally or physically and offering our Namaskaram worship, it gives us a lot of positive energy. That's why we have to do Namaskaram. This is point number 12. Point number 13. We do Seemantam, right? Like the baby shower ceremony, we do Seemantam. Seemantam means splitting the braided hair. Vagidu pirital, splitting the braided lock of hair. It is called Seemantam. Why should we do Seemantam? Ayurveda Shastra says in Seemantam they use a small sharp instrument to split this braid hair. What does this do is, as per Ayurveda Shastram, uterine blood supply is regulated by the nerves which go in the forehead. If they stimulate the nerves in the forehead, it ensures good blood flow to the uterus so that there will be no need for cesarean section and it will promote normal delivery. Because once normal delivery was a common phenomenon and cesarean was a rare phenomenon. Now cesarean is a common phenomenon, normal delivery is a rare phenomenon. To avoid this cesarean and ensure good blood flow to uterus to have a normal delivery, they used to do this Seemantam, which stimulates the nerves and ensures good blood supply to uterus. Not only that, Shastras say during Seemantam, we have to play some Vedic mantras in Veena. In the musical instrument Veena, we have to play some Vedic mantras. Why should we do so means, now in Japan they have done a research and found that from 6 months onwards, the fetus in the womb can listen to external sounds. So if you play Vedic mantras in Veena, the fetus in the womb can be receptive to those sounds. It will receive those sounds and those divine sounds will ensure that the child is born as an Andal or a Prahlada. Because we have got proof in our Shastras. How did Prahlada become a devotee? His father is Hiranyakashipu. You just imagine the nature of father and the son. Totally contradictory. Hiranyakashipu says, I am God. There is no God at all. Prahlada says, Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Who is it possible means? While he was in the womb of his mother Kayadu, Narada played the same Veena. That's why we say, play Veena in Seemantam. Narada played his Veena Magati, chanted Narayana, 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 Narayana. Prahlada listened to all those things and he became a devotee. Abhimanyu learnt how to enter into Chakravyuham in Mahabharata. How did he learn? While he was in the womb of his mother, that time she listened to the way how to enter into the Chakravyuham. Abhimanyu listened to it from the womb. And in the 13th day of Mahabharata war, he enters into the Chakravyuham. So the child which is within the within the womb as fetus, it can listen to external sounds. This has been given in our Shastras already, but in 1988 only, a Japanese scientist proved that yes, the child in the womb can listen to external sounds. But we have already proved it. This is point number 13. Now coming to point number 14. Now the AC looks good. I am getting good air conditioning and it is very good. But our Venkatesh Swami, he felt very cold and he just covered his body with his cloth. We can observe that also. Now, if we have this kind of a congregation, what will we do first, We tie mango leaves at the entrance of the house. Maavilai Thoranam. Mango leaves at the entrance. Do you know what is the significance of mango leaves? Even after plucking from the tree, mango leaves emit oxygen for 24 hours. So if we have a big congregation like this, everybody will start inhaling oxygen, everybody gives out carbon dioxide, that causes perspiration and suffocation. But if we tie mango leaves at the entrance, they keep on emitting oxygen for 24 hours. So as we have more oxygen, we won't suffer from suffocation, we won't have perspiration, there will be no need for AC, and our Swami can also sit comfortably. So mango leaves, that's why in marriage or wherever we have a congregation, we tie mango leaves at the entrance of the home. This is point number 14. Point number 15. I am a doctor. I have to touch some points regarding medicine, right? Regarding medicine, who is the father of surgery? Sushruta. Our Bharata Desham, in our country, Sushruta, all Western people, including Western people, they call Sushruta as the father of surgery. Because in 10th century BC, imagine the time, in 10th century BC, Sushruta has written a work called Sushruta Samhita. In Sushruta Samhita, he has described 1120 diseases. 1120 diseases, 700 herbal medicines, 125 surgical instruments. He has written about 125 surgical instruments, starting from scalpel, forceps, etc. And then he has described 300 types of surgeries. 1120 diseases, 700 herbal medicines, 125 instruments, 300 types of surgeries. Not only that, do you know the surgery called rhinoplasty? Any medical people here? Medical or paramedical? Who is a doctor? Oh, sorry sir. We know rhinoplasty, corrective surgery for nose. Where can we take the flap for rhinoplasty? What is the best place to take skin flap for rhinoplasty? Sushruta says forehead is the best place. Sushruta is the first surgeon who took skin directly from forehead and used it for corrective surgery for nose. It is called forehead flap rhinoplasty. It was done for the first time by our own Sushruta. Sushruta has explained about cataract surgery as well. In the 10th century BC, he speaks about doing cataract surgery. Not only that, can anybody define vaccine? What is vaccine? Yes? Huh? Yes. Whatever organism, bacteria or virus, whatever organism causes a disease, you just deactivate, attenuate or kill the same organism and give it as a medicine to prevent the disease. Am I right? Whatever organism causes a disease, you deactivate or attenuate or kill that organism, you give it as a medicine, it prevents the same disease. For example, take the case of anti-snake venom. To prevent snake venom from attacking us, we take the snake venom itself, process it, give it as anti-snake venom in a diluted form, it prevents the effect of snake venom. Take COVID vaccine, be it Covaxin, Covishield, AstraZeneca, Pfizer, whatever it is. They take COVID virus, they kill or deactivate the COVID virus, they give it as vaccine to prevent COVID-19. Will you believe that this definition was actually given by Narada in Bhagavata Puranam? In Bhagavata Puranam, which was composed nearly 5000 years ago, in the first chapter, 5th section, 33rd verse, Skandam 1, Adhyayam 5, verse 33. Amayo yascha bhutanam jayate yena suvrata tadevahi amayam dravyam napunati chikitsitam. Narada says, Amayo yascha bhutanam jayate yena suvrata. Whatever thing causes disease to a person, tadevahi amayam dravyam. You process the same entity and give it to the person. Napunati chikitsitam. It is a preventive treatment. Narada says. Why should Narada speak about vaccination? He says this to Vyasa. What is the connection between Narada and vaccination? The reason is Narada says this in a different context as an example. What he says is, we are all suffering from a disease called samsaram, not wife. Because in India they call wife as samsara, and that is not a disease. That is minsaram, that is different. Here samsara means worldly existence. We are all suffering from the disease called worldly existence, samsara. Now, what is the causative organism? We say etiology. What is the causative organism for this worldly existence? Karma. Yes. Our karma is the cause. For example, karma is the COVID virus. It causes COVID-19 disease. So, karma is the COVID virus. It causes samsaram disease called COVID-19 disease, flu. Now, Narada says, you process the same organism karma and give it as karma yoga vaccine, it will prevent samsaram disease. Karma is the causative organism. You process the karma, do it as karma yoga. We saw in the essence of Gita Upanyasam 2 days back. Just do your duty, but don't focus on the worldly reward, don't focus on worldly fruit, offer it to God, it becomes karma yogam. When coronavirus enters directly, it causes disease, but it enters as a vaccine, it prevents disease. If karma enters directly, it causes samsaram. If karma comes as karma yoga vaccine, it prevents samsaram. This is explained by Narada. Of course, clapping is also very good, they say, in medicine. Clapping hands is very good. Those people who are suffering from nervous weakness, asthma, allergies, heart problems, all those things, back pain, they all can clap often so that they will get good health in a good manner. And in Upanyasam, if you clap, you will get double benefit because Bhagavan's Anugraham is also there. So clapping is always good, and it will wake up the Upanyasakar also, because the speaker may sleep in between. If you clap, oh, I have been speaking, I should not sleep, I can get up. So clapping is always good. Let us come back to the point. We usually say Edward Jenner discovered vaccination in 1785 for smallpox. But Narada has already given the definition also. In the 7th century work of our Bharat, Madhava Nidhanam, you can see Ayurvedic work, Madhava Nidhanam. There, the physician called Madhava, he has spoken about vaccination for many diseases. But our textbook says Edward Jenner discovered vaccination in 1785 for smallpox. But in our tradition, vaccination was in vogue even before. We can see that is also medicine in Sanatana Dharma. One more thing, Bhagavan took incarnation as Kapila Vasudeva, the son of Kardama Prajapati and Devahuti. This Kapila Vasudeva, he has explained embryology beautifully. Embryology is the development of the fetus within the womb of the mother. Kapila says, in the first month of gestation, the head of the fetus is initially formed. In the second month, hands and legs start emerging. In the third month, skin and nails start forming, and you can find out the gender of the child in the third month. Now also there is an act called PCP and DT Act. You should not reveal the gender of the child. Third month you can find the gender. Kapila says, fourth month, flesh and bone is formed. Fifth month, the child develops thirst and hunger. Sixth month, it starts moving within the amniotic fluid. Seventh month, the child gets consciousness. That's why we say, if it completes 7 months or 28 weeks, it is a viable fetus. It can survive outside. All these things have been explained by Kapila even without the aid of ultrasonogram. Now the sonologist or gynecologist needs an ultrasonogram to assess the growth of the child. But even without that, with his divine eye, Kapila has explained the embryology of the fetus in Bhagavata Puranam. You can see in 3rd Skandam. So we have got a lot of medical facts also embedded within our Sanatana Dharmam. This is point number 15. Totally, now time is 11:10. So I will conclude with 23 points. We have already seen 15. Now we will go into the 16th point. We have got 7 more now. 16th point. For Ganesh Chaturthi, Vinayaka Chaturthi, people dissolve the clay idol of Vinayaka into water, right? Many people ask, is it pollution or not? But actually it has a scientific basis. What? Dissolving clay idol into water, what scientific basis does it have? Because just before Vinayaka Chaturthi, at the beginning of the month of August, we have Adi Perukku, the 18th day of Adi month, Tamil. It will come at the beginning of August. We have Adi Perukku. Usually it falls on August 3rd. On that day, we will have heavy flow of water in the river Kaveri. If you see, during that month of Adi, we will have heavy flow of water. Just like the cell phone is ringing with a heavy voice, we will have a heavy flow of water during that month of August in all rivers, usually in India. It is celebrated as a festival also. But we need to have a normal enough level of clay below the river bed. Only if we have good amount of clay below the river bed, it will ensure normal flow of water, it will maintain the aquatic ecosystem, it will give you a stable foundation to the river. But if the clay which is below the water level recedes, or if its level comes down, then aquatic ecosystem will be affected, flow of water will also get affected. So, during this Adi 18, we have Adi Perukku at the beginning of August, we have some turbulent flow, heavy flow in the river, and that heavy flow, just like the repeated ringing of the cell phone, the heavy repeated flow of water in that river erodes the soil below the river and reduces the amount of clay in the river bed. Now, we have to again deposit clay into the river to ensure proper river bed clay. For that, we buy Vinayaka idols which are made of clay. But we don't dissolve that wet idol. Because if you dissolve the wet idol, it will be washed away along with the flow of the water. So the idol should become dry. That's why the clay idol is kept in puja for 3 to 5 days. It is allowed to dry. Now the dry clay form of idol, when it is dissolved into the water, it just settles at the bottom of the river in the river bed and ensures normal amount of clay within the river bed. And that again restores the aquatic ecosystem, normal flow of water and the river bed also. Again the next year, Adi Perukku comes, turbulent flow of water, heavy flow of water, that again erodes the clay. Again Vinayagar Chaturthi follows immediately. You dissolve these dry clay idols into the water, that again ensures normal water bed. So to ensure normal amount of clay below the water bed, which gives a stable foundation, normal flow of water and good aquatic ecosystem, we dissolve those dry idols into water. This also has significance. Point number 16. Now, point number 17, we come to mathematics. Because always doctors are weak at mathematics, right? Because our engineering friends always make fun of us. You are MBBS, mostly bound to biology subject. But we criticize our BE friends. You are BE, bad English. Now, mathematics in our Sanatana Dharma. Who invented zero? Aryabhatta. Our system alone has zero. Because if you see Roman numerals, it is not decimal system, no zero. They put X, C, L, V. There is no zero. Aryabhatta only invented zero and gave us the decimal system. This decimal system alone is followed throughout the world without giving credit to Aryabhatta. In Australia also we put 50 for dollars only. That zero gives you so much of ease. Only because of zero, we have, just imagine if you have X, C, L, it is very difficult. But you can put 1. If you put 1 0, it is 10. 2 zeros, 100. 3 zeros, 1000. That gives you that ease. This system was devised by Aryabhatta in our country. That's why 1, 10, 1000, 10,000. It is very easy. Even if you have million in these countries, or in India we say lakhs, crores, million, billion, whatever it is, all are based on zeros only. Because more than the number, zero has more value. Because if we put more zeros beside the number's value increases. So zero alone gives value to the number. So that zero was devised by our own Aryabhatta. Not only that, in English, for how much number do you have a name? 10 power. We say million, billion, trillion, beyond that. Zillion then. But in our system, we have got names up to 10 power 62. 62 zeros by the side of 1. Valmiki Ramayanam, Valmiki says Mahaugas. Mahaugas, Valmiki says. Valmiki Ramayanam was written 17 lakhs years ago. Valmiki says 10 power 62 Mahaugas. He has given a great calculation. 10 power 57, 10 power 52, 10 power 47, 10 power 42, 10 power 37, 10 power 32. He gives name for everything. 10 power 62 Mahaugas, Valmiki says. So we have got names for numbers up to 10 power 62. Not only that, we have got Pythagoras theorem. Actually, it was given by Bodhayana Rishi. You can see even now in Bodhayana Sutram, I am giving everything with reference, because afterwards you may ask me, oh no, you said something, where is it? I am giving you reference. In Bodhayana Sutram, there is one verse. Dirga Chaturakshnasya Akshnaya Rajuhu Parshvamani Tiryangmani cha yat Pritak Bhute Kurutaha Tadubayam Karoti. He says, you take a rectangular yagashala. We perform yaga, right? We have a homakundam. You take a rectangular homakundam, draw a diagonal in that Homakundam, the square of the length of the diagonal is equal to the sum of the square of other two sides of the rectangle. This is what Pythagoras said. Square of hypotenuse is equal to sum of the squares of other two sides. Bodhayana says square of the diagonal of the rectangle is directly equal to sum of the squares of the other two sides of the rectangle. So this is mathematics in Sanatana Dharma. Point number 17. Point number 18. We say, who discovered gravity? Immediately we say, as if apple did not fall before that. Only for Newton apple fell down. There is one rishi called Kanada Maharishi. He gave a system called Vaiseshika Siddhantam. Vaiseshika Siddhantam. It's a different thing that Vyasa rejected Vaiseshika Siddhantam on its philosophical basis. But in that Vaiseshika Siddhantam, Kanada Maharishi has explained about gravity. He says, Sanyoga Bhave Gurutvat Patanam. This Kanada Maharishi says in Vaiseshika Siddhantam, Sanyoga Bhave Gurutvat Patanam. If there is an object which is in the atmosphere of the earth, if it does not have any other support, it will fall down at what speed? Depending on its mass. Depending on its mass, if an object is light, it will fall down slowly. If an object is heavy, it will fall down fast. So, Gurutvat, based on its weight, Guru means weight. Sanyoga Bhave, an object without support, Gurutvat, based on its weight, Patanam, falls down. This gravity has been explained. Not only that, he uses this gravitational force to explain the nature of a good Acharya. How a good Guru, good Acharya, how should he be? This Kanada Maharishi says, just like the earth, which attracts all particles around it using the gravitational force, a good Guru should attract all disciples towards him like gravitational force. This example has been given by Kanada Maharishi. So we have got gravitational force also, point number 18. Now an important point, point number 19, Indian astronomy. We have got many questions regarding the astronomy, not astrology, I am speaking about astronomy. Regarding Indian astronomy, we ask a lot of questions. We say Navagraham. What are those Navagrahas? Sun. What are Navagrahas? What are those Navagrahas? Sun, Moon, and Rahu Ketu. Okay. What are the 9 planets means? Sun, Moon, Sunday, Monday. Okay. Then we have got Savai, Mars. And then Budan. Budan is Mercury. And then we have got Guru, Jupiter. And then we have got Shukra, Venus. And then Saturn, Shani, Saturn. And then Rahu, Ketu. Now we have got 4 questions now. Are Sun and Moon planets? Sun is a star. Moon is a satellite. How can you call them Graha, Navagraha? But all people said Graha means planet. How Sun and Moon come into Graha? This is the first question. Second question, is Sun revolving around the Earth? No, it is not geocentric. Actually, it is heliocentric. But our system seems to be a geocentric theory. Number 3. Where are Uranus and Neptune? Now they themselves have taken out Pluto. Uranus and Neptune are remaining. Where is Uranus? Where is Neptune in our system? They are missing. Number 4. I can accept everything, but you see there are 2 snakes. One is Rahu, one is Ketu. They can swallow the sun and the moon. If they can swallow the sun and moon, how large those snakes should be? But those large snakes are not visible to our eyes. Where are they? Are my 4 questions right? Are Sun and Moon planets? Where is Uranus and Neptune? Is Sun revolving around the Earth? 4. Where are those 2 snakes? I want to see them. The answer for question number 1 is already, as our treasurer pointed out. We say Navagrahas. Englishmen have confused us a lot. Who told you Graha means planet? Graha doesn't mean planet. Actually, graha means a celestial body with gravitational force. Any celestial body with gravitational force is called graha. Does sun have gravitational force? Yes. Does moon have gravitational force? Yes. So they are called grahas. So sun and moon have gravitational force. It is a totally different thing that sun is a star, moon is a satellite. That is not related here. Because on what basis we keep Navagraha is, what are all the celestial bodies which exert their gravitational force on earth. Their gravitational force cause some changes to this earth. That's why we take them into consideration and we measure their movements. So the gravity of sun, gravity of moon, they have a direct profound and effect on this earth. That's why we include them in Navagraha. This is the answer for point number 1. Point number 2, but our system seems to be geocentric. Earth is in the middle, sun is revolving, we say. No. Actually, our system is heliocentric theory only. But for practical purposes, it is very difficult to measure the movement of other bodies if you are in a moving body. We ourselves are moving. So when we are moving, it is difficult to calculate the movement of others relative to our movement. So for practical calculation purposes, we assume that earth is static at the center. Please note, we don't consider, we assume that earth is static at the center, everything is revolving just to measure. So this is only for calculation, but our theory is actually heliocentric. But in Western world only, they had geocentric theory for a long time, and when one person discovered telescope and he said no, it is heliocentric, they just beat and killed him to death. But our system is actually heliocentric only. What is the proof? Every day people who do Sandhya Vandanam, they chant one mantra. Dhyayas sada Savitri Mandala Madhyavarti Narayana. Surya Narayana is in the center of the solar system. This mantra says, Dhyayas sada Savitri Mandala Madhyavarti Narayana. Varti means rotating within himself. Sun is rotating. Earth is revolving around the sun. So we say Madhyavarti Narayana. Very simple. In temple you can see Navagraha Sannidhi. Who is at the center? Sun. So our theory is heliocentric theory. But for measurement purpose only, we assume that earth is static at the center. But we know that earth is revolving around the sun. This is point number 2. Okay, point number 3. Where are Uranus and Neptune? As we already said, we take into consideration only those celestial bodies whose gravity have effect on this earth. Uranus and Neptune are so far apart that their gravity has negligible effort on this earth, so we don't take them into consideration. Now number 4, where are those 2 snakes? There are 2 lunar nodes. The lunar nodes are the places where the axis of moon and the axis of earth meet at 2 points. One is called ascending lunar node, another one is descending lunar node. Whenever moon comes to the ascending lunar node or descending lunar node, that time eclipse will happen, because it is the intersection of 2 axes. So on either nodes, if moon comes there, sun, earth, moon come to the same straight line and eclipse happens. Otherwise eclipse won't happen. The ascending lunar node is called Rahu, descending lunar node is called Ketu. The proof is, the ascending and descending lunar node, they form a circle, total axis, right? They are 180 degrees apart. 180 degrees apart, ascending and descending lunar node. If you see in Jatakam horoscope, Rahu and Ketu will be 6 boxes apart. It has 12 boxes. They will be 6 boxes apart. So 180 degrees apart in a 360 degree circle. 6 boxes apart in a 12 box horoscope. This shows that Rahu is the ascending lunar node. Ketu is the descending lunar node, but there are in-charge deities for those points. Those in-charge deities have snake form. Just like Surya has a form of Surya Devata, that in-charge Devata for ascending lunar node has a snake form, descending lunar node Ketu form. That's why we call them as Rahu, Ketu. That snake, it catches hold of the sun and moon, we say. Now just imagine, in those days there were no telescopes. There was no technology. They did not have any jet or rocket to go to the outer space. In spite of all these constraints, they were able to point out those minute invisible points correctly. Our ancestors were able to map it, and they were able to say when will eclipse come, after 100 years also. If they are able to give it properly, then just imagine the level of astronomical knowledge they possessed. Because they are not visible. You cannot see Rahu, or at least on some occasions you can see some planets also. But these points, Rahu, Ketu, cannot be seen. But they found out those points, they mapped them without telescope, and they are able to say on this day, in this time, for this eclipse will come, it will last for this duration. Whether it is solar or lunar eclipse, they can say. This shows that they had a great knowledge of astronomy. Not only that, Varaha Mihira, another astronomer, he has written Brihat Samhita. He has defined how rainbow comes in the sky. How does rainbow come? Sunlight falls into water molecules, it becomes dispersed and forms Vibjayar. This has been given by Varaha Mihira. Suryasya Vividha Varnaha. Just look at those words. Suryasya Vividha Varnaha Pavanena Vigattitaha Karasabre Viyati Dhanus Samsthanaha Ye Drishyante Tad Indra Danuhu. Rainbow is called Indra Danu. He has explained. Similarly, we say sun is around 98 million miles away from the earth. This has been proved in science. 98 million miles away, sun. In Tulsi Das Hanuman Chalisa, you have one line. Yuga Sahasra Yojana Parubhanu Lilyo Tayi Madhura Palajanu Prabhu Mudrika Meli Mukamagi Jaladilangi Gaye Acharachanagi. Yuga Sahasra Yojana Par Bhanu. Bhanu is Suryan. Where is Surya? Yuga. Yuga means 12,000. Sahasra means 1000. Yojana means 8. Yuga Sahasra Yojana means 12,000 into 1000 into 8 miles, which ultimately becomes 96 million miles. 98 million miles we say, nearly 96 million miles he says. So, without all this telescope and other technology, Tulsidas says, so sun is 96 miles away from this earth. Yuga Sahasra Yojana Par Bhanu. So, we have got that kind of a deep knowledge of astronomy in our tradition. This is point number 19. Point number 20. Do you know one thing? For Devas, one day is equal to 1 year on earth. 1 day for Devas is 1 year on earth. How is it possible? Some people say it is scientifically incorrect. You have 1 year, but it is 1 day for them. How is it? Very simple. There is a direct answer for that. Where is Devalokam? Devalokam is on the top of Meru mountain. Okay, where is Meru mountain? Meru mountain is an imaginary point above the north pole of the earth. A point above the north pole of the earth is called Meru mountain. It is invisible to our eyes. On the top of north pole, Devalokam exists. If you observe the revolution of earth around the sun, for 6 months, north pole will be facing the sun. For all those 6 months, north pole will have daytime. For the next 6 months, south pole of the earth will be facing the sun. North pole will have night for all the 6 months. That's why even in Australia and all, you see during summer, you will have sunlight up to even 8 o'clock or so, evening. Because it goes towards the south pole. So in the southern hemisphere, for some time it will have longer days. If you go to South Pole, for 6 months it will be daytime only, 6 months night time only. Similarly, the same case for North Pole. That's why Norway, which is close to North Pole, it is called land of midnight sun. So if you go to the top of North Pole, it will face sun for 6 months and it will be totally turned away from the sun for 6 months. So 6 months is daytime for North Pole, 6 months is night time for North Pole. Devalokam is located on top of the North Pole. So they have 6 months day, 6 months night. So 1 year becomes 1 day. For Pitrus, 1 month. 1 month becomes 1 day. Because Pitrus are located in the moon. Chandralokam we say, usually the Pitrulokam is by the side of Chandra. Moon, for the completion of a single cycle, it takes 1 month. Waxing phase 15 days. Waning phase 15 days. Waxing phase is the daytime for Pitrus. Waning phase is the night time for Pitrus. Waxing phase 15, waning days 15, 30 days constitutes 1 day for Pitrus. This is point number 20. Point number 21, Achamanam. We do Achamanam. It is for both men and women. Some women may ask, no, only male people are doing Achamanam. No, female should also do it. But gents should do Achamanam in the sitting posture. Women should do in the standing posture. We take sips of water. Achyutaya Namaha, Anantaya Namaha, Govindaya Namaha. Now, a research paper, it says, sipping small quantities of water frequently ensures good hydration. It also reduces the load on kidney. If we take so much of bouts of water, it is overload for kidney. But small sips of water, it is very good for our kidneys. It reduces acidity also. It is good for kidney. It reduces acidity and ensures good hydration. Sipping water is very good. That's why when we wake up, we do Achamanam. Before eating, we do Achamanam. Sandhyavandanam, we do Achamanam. After going to attend nature's call, after attending the phone call, after coming back, we do Achamanam. Every time we do Achamanam. So, sipping small quantities of water ensures good hydration, reduces acidity, reduces water load on kidneys. This has been scientifically proved. Point number 21. Point number 22. You will be getting ready to lunch now. So, point number 22 is, we have to sit on the floor and eat. We usually sit on the floor and eat. Why? Because when we sit on the floor, it increases the secretion of digestive juices. Rather than sitting on a chair or table, if we sit down in this position, it increases the secretion of digestive juices. It stimulates the vagus nerve. It strengthens the abdominal muscles. It relaxes our nerves. It ensures good circulation also. So sitting on the floor and eating is hygienic, scientific, healthy. Not only that, how do we eat? With what instrument? Hands. Because Dr. Radhakrishnan, our ex-president of India, he once went to some place for eating. All British people used spoons. Dr. Radhakrishnan used his hand. They criticized, "Oh, don't you have a spoon?" Dr. Radhakrishnan said, "This is the most hygienic spoon in the world. My hand is the most hygienic spoon in the world because no one else other than me has used it forever." After COVID, we are all speaking about this. Oh my God, if we use other spoon, will COVID spread? We are all thinking about it. This hand is the most hygienic spoon. Nobody else other than our own selves have used it ever in all through our lives. Even in the case of spoon, we are not sure whether it is clean or not. In some cases, even soap bubbles may be sticking to the spoon. We are not aware of that. So better use hands. But we have to wash our hands before eating. That is a different thing. Just speaking dialogue that it is the hygienic spoon. And if we eat without washing our hands, that's a different thing. And also, we eat on plantain leaf. Recently, this plantain leaf has gained significance, because they have proved that this plantain leaf has got a substance called ECGC, epigalactocatectin lactate, which is very good for diabetes. So eating on plantain leaf has this epigalactocatectin lactate, which is very good for diabetes. So eating with hand on plantain leaf, it is also scientifically good, which you are going to have very shortly after my discourse. Now point number 23, the last point. We observe fast on Ekadashi. My friend and anesthetist, Dr. Parthasarathi from Kumbakonam, the same Parthasarathi, he has conducted a research about Ekadashi fasting. And he has published a paper regarding that. You can refer in Google, Ekadashi fasting by Dr. Parthasarathi. He has concluded that when we fast on those Ekadashi days, that is 15 days once we observe fasting, this initiates a ketogenic phase in our body and reduces oxidative stress and delays aging. Those who observe fasting on Ekadashi, the aging is delayed. It gives good antioxidant support. And then Ekadashi fast gives you better weight control, helps you reduce weight, because intermittent fasting, it is very good for weight loss. Number 3, one day you give rest to your entire bowel system, so it cleans your entire bowel and restores good balance back to your gut system. Not only that, The next day, Dwadashi, we should not overeat. Because you have fasted the previous day. If we overeat, we will have reflux, we will have digestive problems. That's why Dwadashi Parana you should do before 8:30 because you can't consume more. So you do yearly Parana on Dwadashi so that you will not eat more, because we have to start eating in small quantities and then progress. Not only that, during Dwadashi Parana, we use gooseberry. That gooseberry has vitamin C and it reduces acidity. And then we do Tair Pachidi that day, more Kodambu. That Tair more, it is probiotic. It helps our digestion. We add Agatti Kirai, Agastya Amaranth leaf. It promotes gut motility and it avoids hiccups and it reduces acidity also. And on Dwadashi Parana, we avoid all pulses because it is difficult to digest pulses after resting our gut for a day. We avoid spicy food because it will promote acidity. We avoid tamarind because it will promote acidity. So we avoid all those things and do Dwadashi Parana. So even Ekadashi fasting and Dwadashi Parana has got a lot of significance. So our ancestors have given this Sanatana Dharmam to us in such a way. There are many more things, but considering time, I am completing with this 23rd point. Our ancestors have given us a lot of things like that, which are all spiritually significant, and not only spiritually, they are scientifically also. Please note also. Why I am stressing is, recently a bad opinion is spreading that actually they wanted to give you scientific benefit only, but they have given you in the name of religion. Our Purvacharyas never deceive us. So their main purpose is to encourage us in spirituality only. The main purpose is spiritual benefit only. Additionally, we have got all these scientific benefits in our Sanatana Dharmam, and I should wholeheartedly thank SAGI and Dr. Venkatesh. I said Mr. Venkatesh. No, he is Dr. Venkatesh. I should thank Dr. Venkatesh for giving me this opportunity to share all these things in his home amidst a wide, vast crowd in front of you. Gave me this opportunity to share. So I would like to conclude in the form of a Sanskrit verse and a Tamil song. Paramanugatim Bhaishaja Ganito. It was written by me only, because I only have to speak about all my slokas. Who else will be speaking? So I have to quote all my verses. Paramanugatim Bhaishaja Ganito Jyotirvidyam Mari Shamanam Jnatva Dattam Bharata Deshe Kutastairnaf Paramparyam. This is in the meter called Arya. Paramanugatim, we know particle physics. Bhaishaja Ganitau, we know medicine, we know mathematics. Jyotirvidyam, we know astronomy. Mari Shamanam, we know medicine and treatment of infections. Jnatva Dattam Bharata Deshe, in our holy land of Bharat. Kutastainaf Paramparyam, in our Parampara, our ancestors have bequeathed all this treasure to us in the form of Sanatana Dharmam. Now a Tamil poem. அணுத்துகள் விஞ்ஞானமுடன் வழக்கம் தன்னில் அனுசரிக்கும் செயல்களினால் விளையும் நன்மை பணித்துடைக்கும் மருத்துவமும் பண்டிகைகள் பேணுகின்ற அறிவியலும் கணிதத்தோடு இணையறியா வானியலும் தொற்று நோய்கள் ஏற்படுங்கால் செய்முறையும் கொண்டனங்கள் மணிநாட்டு முன்னோரின் வாழ்வியல் தன் மாண்புதனை உளமாற போற்றுவோமே. தேங்க்யூ. If there is time, you can ask questions.
If like our Purvacharyas and all these rishis had so much knowledge, how come they didn't build all this like advanced technology and stuff like that?
We had hospitals. We had what do you want to build?
Like anything, like இப்போ இருக்கிற technology, like நீங்க சொன்னீங்களே அப்போ இல்ல like say
இல்லை
rockets, for
நமக்கு எது தேவையோ அதை அவள் பண்ணிட்டா. இப்போது வாட் இஸ் தி யூஸ் ஆஃப் லான்ச்சிங் ராக்கெட்ஸ் அண்ட் ஆல் அதர் திங்ஸ்? இட் வில் எனேபிள் யூ டு மோர் ரிசர்ச். தட்ஸ் வை ஐ எம்ஃபசைஸ்ட் ஒன் பாயிண்ட். த மெயின் பர்பஸ் இஸ் ஸ்பிரிச்சுவல் அட்வான்ஸ்மெண்ட். They all wanted to utilize this for spiritual advancement. Even if they build a hospital, what will they think is, only if you have good health, you can engage in spiritual activities. For that, they build hospital for your health. So they did not go beyond that. Not that they can't go. They didn't want to go.
I have a question. Will this concept of Margari and ozone layer even apply in Australia? Because we are thinking within respects of India, right? Because India is northern hemisphere.
It's a good question. Doing it in India has this additional scientific benefit. But I already told you, Margari has main spiritual benefit. That will apply even in Australia also. That's why we have to take it with a pinch of salt always. That's why I am stressing that please don't take scientific benefit as the main benefit. Spiritual benefit is the main thing. You get additional, just take an example, a boy goes to school in cycle. If a boy goes in cycle, cycling is good for his health. But he was not admitted to school just to do cycling. It is just additional benefit. The main benefit is learning. That's all.
Swami, about the sun, CER. So, you said there's Nataraja's idol in front actually. So, have they accepted that Indians knew about this like the
They didn't accept, but Fridge of Capra, he has accepted. And one informal information I got from them is they are saying whether we know or not, after Nataraja came here, our research has progressed a lot. They are accepting. Ah.
You mentioned in 13 to 16 pointers your lifespan goes up when because of the oil. But when
Please be louder.
when you are doing the upanyasam, does my lifespan go up because
That's why before coming to Upanyasam, you stand, you offer your prostration and then sit. It is the protocol.
after you do that it will go
No, once you have done Namaskaram, your Prana Shakti will start moving downwards. Then you can sit.
Swami, Suresh Shekhar, sorry. He just wanted to actually present you a
Okay.
Sanskrit Pustakam.
Oh, nice, thank you.
He's actually a Sanskrit
President of Sanskrit Bhakti, Australia.
Nice meeting you, sir.
And we have, Bhairappan, our author, Kannada author,
Okay.
and it's translated by Vishwas, Sanskrit Bharati scholar Vishwas.
Okay, sir. Sure. Thank you.
நீங்கள் நிறைய சம்ஸ்கிருதத்துலேருந்து போட்டுருவோம் சனாதன தர்மம் சம்ஸ்கிருதத்தில் தானே இருக்கு.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
மகாபாரதத்தை பேஸ் பண்ணது
Okay. I will go through it. Thank you.
டஃப் ரீட் பட்
Okay, sir. Sure. Sure, sir. Thank you, sir. Mentally or physically, I clarified there itself. Some people allow physical touching. I have seen such acharyas, but generally in acharya Thirumaligais they won't allow. That's why I said mentally or physically, as the case may be. Ah. That's why I clarified in the beginning itself, the scientific benefits are secondary only. If you start adhering to our Shastras based on scientific things, then all this place, time, everything will come into question. We follow Shastras for the only reason that our ancestors have followed it. முன்னோர் முடிந்த முறை தப்பாமல் கேட்டு பின்னோர்து தான் அதனை. That's why we are following. This is a different experience. Oh, we have got additional scientific benefit also. And from one angle, these are also immaterial because we are getting a greater spiritual benefit from these Anushtanams. When you look at the greater spiritual benefits, irrespective of whether you have scientific benefit or not, you will follow. Because I was confined to this topic. Yes.
Sorry, what's the size and scale of a Brahmanda?
Size and scale of Brahmandam has been given in our Puranas, which extends beyond millions of miles. The visible part of universe is very less. There are a lot of invisible part around because Jambudvipam is visible. But they say Plakshadvipam, Shakadvipam, Kushadvipam, Shvetadvipam, Pushkaradvipam, many more dvipas are there, which as depicted in Puranas, we can say Australia is Shakadvipam and all. But as depicted in Puranas, yet we are unable to find out where are they. We say Milky Ocean, but we are unable to map it. So the invisible part, if you include everything, it will extend beyond a diameter of millions of miles. Similarly, the height also, we have not yet gone beyond Bhuvaha. This is Bhuhu. Above it, the space is called Bhuvaha. Above which Swaha is Swargalokam, heaven. Even to the level of Swargam, we have not gone. So the universe is far, 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 far bigger than what we imagine or what we have found out.
Panchangam use பண்றோம் இல்லையா? Different versions.
Ah.
நீங்க astronomy பத்தி சொன்னீங்க. அப்பவே நிறைய பண்ணி வச்சுட்டு போயிட்டாங்க. Is it still valid or are people still reviving it and doing it every
இல்லை பெருசாக பண்ணுறதில்ல. சில வாக்கிய பஞ்சாங்கங்களில் சேஞ்ச் பண்ணுறா. பட் பெரும்பாலான பஞ்சாங்கங்கள் வந்து பெரியோர்கள் பண்ணி வச்சதை தான் பெரும்பாலும் இப்போது ஸ்ரீரங்க பஞ்சாங்கம் மாதிரி பிராச்சீனமாக இருக்கிறதுலலாம் வந்து அவள் பெருசாக சேஞ்சஸ் பண்ண மாட்டான்.
You beautifully explained what is the protocol to sit down and eat and that you have to eat in a meditation. But the food itself, we have heard say that some foods actually promote Namaskaram, some food actually promotes Namaskaram.
Yes.
But in our practical lives, when we go across so many people, they claim that I have this has no effect on me. I have such and such food, it has no effect on me. Why aren't you trying? So how do we scientifically resolve this to say without even trying? Because
Okay.
there is the
Actually, if a person is allergic to certain types of foods, we cannot compel them. But if he can take sattvic food, better to try sattvic food, because only when we try, we can see the progress we get in our meditation or devotion or spirituality. Only by experience they can realize. But again, my advice to you is, we can't force other people. We can follow our sattvic aharam. Even when we follow sattvic aharam, I'm not telling about Australia, New Zealand tour. Here they are giving me whatever I ask, they are giving me. In some places, some organizers ask me, you say you don't take potato and carrot. How can we do samayal without potato and carrot? No, it is not possible, they say. So it is difficult even for us to follow, but still we have to follow. So let us take care of ourselves first.
சுவாமி நீங்க CERN-ல சொன்னீங்க
ஆ.
நடராஜர் சிலை அதே மாதிரி சுஷ்மிதாவுடைய சிலை இங்க யுஎன்எஸ் வச்சிருக்காங்க. நீங்க கொஞ்சம் விசிட் பண்ணீங்கன்னா
Oh.